Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a very significant statement coming in from Donald Trump's aide and the US Commerce Secretary Lutnick. For the first time, US has itself admitted that they tried to put India into a deadline. They tried to push India to agree to a deal under a deadline, and we didn't do that. Joining us on this broadcast is Mohandas Pai, entrepreneur, also of Aaron Capital. Mr. Pai, you've been on many debates on the trade deal, but for the first time we hear Donald Trump, a few days back, said he said Modi called me and he wanted to please me, etc. Some very silly comments were made, but now his aide Lutnick has said Modi did not call. They expected a call. We did not call because we didn't agree to the terms, Mr. Pai.
Well, I think Prime Minister Modi should talk to President Trump. Remember, the Commerce Secretary said we got a deal. He said we got a deal, but it didn't go forward because Modi did not call Trump. It's very obvious that President Trump expects world leaders to call him and to talk to him and to request him. Prime Minister Modi has stayed back. Now I think it's time to break the ice because India's trade is getting damaged. And there's no harm in Prime Minister Modi calling up President Trump and telling him, we have discussed all this, we've done all this, we have a deal on the table. Why don't we sign? At best, what will President Trump do? He said, no, I got more. At least the line, the way ahead will be very clear. So I think we got to break the logjam and break the ice.
Now, Mr. Pai, we have been saying that we will not adhere to deadlines. We have said we will do the trade deal on our own terms. Now, this shows that we did not budge. What is your take on how India is handling this entire trade deal, Mr. Pai?
No, India is obviously handling it very well. But remember, it takes two hands to clap. A deal is between two people. A deal is not with one person. And here, who is the superior power? America is the superior power. It's the largest economy in the world. We need America. We need America for our markets. Let's be very clear. We are not a superior power. We held back. We fought. We negotiated. We given in many things. And for America to export and compete with all our companies, it's going to be a little bit tough because the manufacturing is moved out. So I think we should look at it from our national interest and, liberalize with America, get them to open our market and do it. I'm sure we have done all this. Apart from the public posturing, I think the Secretary has also said that we have a deal on the table. And I think we should look at it seriously and try to make the most of it. We got Mr. Piyush Goyal now in Europe. He's talking to the EU to sign a deal. And I think the deal could happen when the EU Commissioner and head of EU comes to Delhi for 26 January. And that will be very good for India. We got a deal with the UK. We got to make a deal with America. It's the largest market in the world and we need the market. So I don't know what is holding back. So I think Prime Minister Modi should call up and speak to President Trump to push the matter.
But they want it on their terms, Mr. Pai. I'm surprised you're saying that we should call them and take the deal because if they were tough terms that we couldn't agree on, why should we make that call?
I can't hear you.
If we did not agree to, and I'm quoting what Lutnick has said, the US...
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you.
Okay, I'm just checking once again. Can you hear me now, Mr. Pai?
Hear.
Can't hear me. Okay, he can't hear me.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I wanted to quote Mr. Lutnick to you, Mr. Pai. Mr. Lutnick has said that we negotiated with them and assumed that we would be taking that deal. It would be done before other Asian countries and negotiated with them at a higher rate. So now the problem is that the deals came out at a higher rate and India then claws back and says, oh, okay, we are ready. And he also says that the deal we agreed to back then, that is not the deal now. The terms have changed. So why should we then pick up the phone and, agree to a deal which is much higher now than what it was before?
Well, look, you must see who is in a weaker bargaining position. We are in a weaker bargaining position. Let's be honest about it. We are not in a strong bargaining position. We are not China, which can absorb the big loss, which can do many things. So we must talk to them and see what are the sides. Yes, obviously there's some red lines. We don't want milk to come here. That's true. We don't want much of the agriculture to come here. That's true. Those are rigid lines. And other rigid lines, I don't know what they are. Maybe Government of India can clarify very clearly what is holding back? Because I remember reading the Commerce Secretary statement that we have a deal in the table, but Prime Minister Modi should call up President Trump. If Prime Minister Modi has to call up President Trump and say, we got a deal on the table, why don't we sign? There's nothing wrong about it. That's how international diplomacy works. And you must remember, President Trump is unlike any other previous US president. It is my way or the highway. We got to see how to accommodate to the highest degree possible. And after that we can't, it's okay. We tried our best. But right now the key thing is, have we tried our best? Are we standing hard on certain things which may not be required? I don't know. Maybe the government of India should clarify based on the Commerce Secretary's statements what has to be done. But I think talking to President Trump is not going to harm India, because it is a dialogue between two leaders of two of the greatest democracies in the world, and we should keep trying. There's nothing wrong in keeping trying. We don't have to bow and bend, but we can talk and we can discuss and we can isolate and see whether we can go forward. Because now we are hearing that if industry does not get the deal in the January, the whole year is over. The whole year could be bad for people who are exporting to America.
Well, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Pai, for joining us. Look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you very much. Mohandas Pai on Lutnick's comment on India not budging.